Salas
Palau.
Palau.
I'm from Barcelona, and I started first of all studying physical education, just 2 years, and then from there I jumped to hip hop because I met someone in my course of studying physical education who was dancing hip hop, and he said, "Can you replace me? I'm sick." And I went to replace his classes, and I love it. And from imitating Michael Jackson, I started to teach, and then I took a course of aerobics while I was studying, and then I understood to count music, and from there on I started to develop my skills as a teacher in hip hop, and then I become a dancer and my own manager and also choreographer, and I did things in TV more for video clips stuff or things like this. I don't know. Commercial, yeah, more in the commercial world, let's say.
Yes. Okay.
And then this gave me a chance also to work with a company, a flamenco company called Color, doesn't exist anymore, and I like that. And also I could work with Ramon Oller, choreographer from Spain that doesn't have a company anymore, but 20 years ago was pretty known also in France and in many places. And with this I could have a chance to do ballet and contemporary, and I like it. It's like, okay. So I keep doing my hip hop, teaching, doing battles.
But you didn't did flamenco?
No.
You were just
dancing,
technique?
yes. This man was a choreographer together with 4 more in Spain who had a normal a company with a contract, annual contract. It doesn't exist this anymore. In Spain, I think there's, except the National Compagnie Española, that they have the rest is project based. So I had a chance to work with him and the company, where I met many colleagues that doing dance, contemporary and ballet, and I enjoy a lot. And it's like, there is more than hip hop. So there was the first time like something came to my mind, seeing other possibilities of communication.
The whole world.
Yes, but I was keep doing my hip hop and especially my classes, learning a lot in my practice, and some competitions, some battles, blah 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 blah. And we also on that time I started to also with this company Color, the flamenco company. I work with good friends of mine from hip hop, Paul Fritos and Luc Fritos, and then after I ended up working with them and with Berta Pons and Clara Pons, and all together we work later on with CobosMika. So we make a project together.
So you were in Barcelona with
That's how you discovered CobosMika, no?
No, CobosMika. I met them teaching. They were teaching a summer intense camp in Sant Cugat, organized by Anna Sanchez.
Okay.
And then they were coming there as a guest teachers to teach, and I took, because I could took classes for free in this, because I teach in Varium, that's the school of Anna Sanchez. So I took the workshops for the first time, and I like it what they did. It's like, wow, that's really nice. That's how I get in contact. But then I make an audition, and I went to Codarts.
Okay.
I got chosen to go to Codarts, and
instead of P.A.R.T.S. So.
And instead of P.A.R.T.S. also.
P.A.R.T.S, because you were chosen in P.A.R.T.S too.
Yes, in P.A.R.T.S, yes, and also in Codarts. And I chose Codarts, and P.A.R.T.S I was not chosen. I was not chosen, but until the end, and at the end said not. Okay. And then I went to Codarts, and I did 1 year in Codarts, and then next summer I went to the same summer camp where they came to teach. I said, I want to work for you now. And they said, okay, next year we want to make an audition for guys. Let's keep contact, and then you come. Okay, and then with CobosMika, yes. And then I end up next year after doing the audition, and yes, I got started to work with them. And yes, this was.
How long did you work with them?
We did one full production, and then I replaced another for another piece. Stream was called the piece, and then I do Kashmal, the production, where we perform in Grec. It's a big festival in the summer. From music, theater, and dance, big festival all over the city.
So it was like your beginning in real work.
Yeah, let's say with CobosMika was to start to work with contemporary.
Yeah.
Yes. Because before I worked with Color, Ramon Oller, or other small things more in commercial, but like a project of contemporary, as we understand, company based. Yeah, was my first project.
Okay.
Yes,
nice.
That's how
You liked it.
Yeah, I loved it. It was beautiful. It was really, really nice to go up with my background and see where I can go, no? And Olga and Peter for this, with their way of moving, they really push possibilities. It was really good for me. Yes, and immediately also I said like, I love this, but might be that this is not enough. Or I already had questions like, yes, but my doubts, like the way to understand dance, I was too free in my mind or in my way of living the profession, but I didn't know, so it was really good to spend some year and a half with them. And then we toured a lot, we had many shows, it was really nice. And then I don't know if we did the second piece after or before I injured.
Yes,
but
you got injured one time.
Yes, yeah,
On
a big injury, on the stage. Yes, exactly. The day before I was flying to work with CobosMika, and Mankopi they were doing a co-production with another company in Denmark.
Okay.
Yes, so this was a tough moment because it was the night, and I called them in the morning. I think at 6 or 7 in the morning, Peter, I'm not taking this plane. I'm going back to Barcelona. I broke my knee. So they need to find immediately someone to replace me. They found someone. And that was, I kind of had a break with the company, of course, Mika, because I need to recover my leg operation. I crossed the cross ligaments.
Yes.
And this takes time. So, yeah. And that's why then I disconnect a bit.
Yeah,
Yes.
I bet.
Yes, that was the beginning, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what happened during this moment of
nothing like being injured and not dancing?
This was really tough.
Break.
Yes, you break, but not just
How
physically. You break in the mind.
Was your mind? Yeah, this was my question.
Yes, because you think you cannot dance again. They say yes, and then I thought I will dance again. I knew it. But you are so vulnerable that you doubt everything. Do I want to dance? To end up doing the same? To injure myself? Doing things that I don't really maybe have the same... I feel a bit fish out of water every time. I enjoy a lot Ramon, Colors, Craquejat, Kajmal, anything I did until now. I was enjoying it, but I always felt a bit fish out of water. And then when I broke my knee, it's like, okay, and what do I do? What do I want in my life? And then I thought to quit, but I wanted to search for answers of my questions.
What happened in your mind?
Yeah, no, what's life, or what I vibrate for. So anyway, searching for answers. That you don't take answers like this. That's an answer for you, no. But I was searching for answers to calm down, I guess, my nervosity of feeling fish out of water. You need water to breathe. You cannot breathe out with no water, right? So that's why it was constant, and I was a bit too much on that. So that's why maybe I slowed down by injuring. I don't know, might be, who knows. But that year I ended up doing everything, a bit of martial arts, especially yoga, and I did Gestalt also. Gestalt. It's like theater applied to therapy, but with theater.
Nice.
And then I did also Yuki Katsugen, that's the gymnastics for the Buto, and then access to the Buto.
Buto, we have to.
Buto is.
And then I did 1 year training Buto. I was coming 2 times a week, 3 times per day, so like 6 hours a week. And this was the most regular thing I had. And it was a great time. Sue Aruna was the teacher.
Where was it?
In Barcelona. In a private even classroom. They rent the class to go to the class. So, and then through this, I discovered there was a Buto Festival Barcelona where come many international teachers, and then I took different courses with Carlota Ikeda or Tadashi Endo. And more, and I forgot all the names, but that's the 2 names I remember the most because I took 2 or 3 several courses with them, and it was beautiful to go into this training of the Buto and the mindset and the way to understand the body, the time, the way to understand gravity, the tension, and there was something that something started to click a bit. Okay, I was missing nobody until now something, and this is something close. Might not be, but something close.
The connection.
Yes.
The beginning of your answer.
Yes, something, or yes. Actually, I keep questioning now, so I don't know if it was it, but
always.
but it was good. It gave me a new door to look the profession, and this was needed. So yeah, I did a lot of things. Probably I forget. I also did a lot of shamanism. I was following a group of people who practice something from a shaman. It was called Astro Karate. Yeah, so
You tried everything.
not everything, but also I went to a group men where men get together to talk about their not just problems or taboos or to talk about their difficulties. And I was the most young of all of them.
Where was it?
In Barcelona also.
Okay, well, big city.
I
Big adventures.
mean, I was in many things. I was searching for understanding.
Yes.
And then I had the chance to took a workshop with Jordi Cortés.
Okay.
Jordi Cortés. You know him? No, eh?
No.
He worked for many years with DB8. You know DB8?
TB8.
DB8.
TB8.
No.
No, I don't.
Yeah, because it's from the 80s, 90s.
Yes, that's why.
Too young, maybe.
Yeah, but they still make the company. It's one of the main companies. Okay. Like you know, Wim Vandekeybus, because it's from the 90s. Before was DB8 as a. You should check it out.
Yes, of course.
And I can tell you some nice movies of them. The Cost of the Living, Enter Achilles. So I'll go back to Codarts. When I was in Codarts in the school, you had the chance to have. There is a library in the school, but a big 2 floors library, and they're like a wall is just about CDs of different artists. You can find anything you want, from Martha Graham to Forsyth to DB8 to Varium and Step to Vandekeybus to C. Larby to Crankcam to whatever was the. So and I record them because you could record them.
Yeah.
So I had copies for me.
Wow.
So I record all the videos of DB8, and that's why now I remember this anecdote of Codarts. I spent many hours in the library checking, understanding what dance when I was in Codarts. Okay, going from hip hop, my idea was in hip hop. I will combine hip hop and contemporary. And in France, many people were doing this already back in 2000s, 4 or 5. Many companies, Acro Rap. Who else is this one famous company? Who has this?
French?
Yes, Acro Rap is French also, but
Abou Lagraa.
how is called the company of him? Yes,
I don't remember.
yeah, Acro Rap and anyway. So I want that because I wanted to do something like this in the beginning in my mind. As soon as I went to Codarts, I wanted to explore more things, and then I don't know, whatever.
The time.
Yes, but in 2007, when I was working with CobosMika, I wanted to make a piece with good friends of mine from hip hop, Paul and Youk, and we did a small trio from 15-20 minutes in a small theater in Barcelona, and this was like, it was more contemporary, it was more telling stories, and it's like, okay, that's why I wanted to combine hip hop and contemporary. I thought, yes, and I don't know when I lost it, but I remember this moment of thinking, I want to combine both. So yeah, and then back to 2009, I took a workshop with Jordi Cortés, where I enjoy a lot. It was really theatrical for me, and I was like, okay, I'm doing something of Buto. That Buto was, I will take this sentence from, I forgot who told me that, but I love it. It's like you dance with not layers of your character. Like when you're a baby inside of the belly of your mother, there is not yet nothing imposed. It's born. So there's nothing. It's a pure. That's what the idea of Buto, to go to the essence of your movement.
No limits.
No limits in a sense, but yes, and more the essence, the truthness. And that I love it. This combined with theater, I was like, wow. And I saw these things were talking to me. And I keep following workshops of people.
So you liked Buto?
Yes, I enjoy a lot. For me, it was important to go through this.
Okay.
Because it's therapy. Well, dance is therapy, but
Yes.
for me it was really to confront with so much why I was need to go to the limits, why I was feel fish out of water,
Mhm.
why I cannot put my bottom, my ass somewhere sitting.
To ask the deepest question you have inside. Or...
Yes, and you live with them and you dance with them, and this was brutal for me.
Okay.
For me, it was really
help you.
Yes, helped me a lot.
So do Buto. Try everybody.
No, I mean again, I don't know. It depends for everyone.
For everyone is different.
Yes, and for me, it was for a period. After I never went back to Buto anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's interesting. Maybe in a period of your life.
Yes, and then I started to work, and then I follow work. 2009, I started to work back after 1 year and a half stopping, and I just keep working until now.
Oh.
And trying to search for projects, interesting people who want to things like I'm interested, and little by little, the freelance world, you connect to things, and things connect to you. So of course, maybe some guy who wants to make more repertoire didn't call me because maybe my potential was more in other places. So, but people who wants to make a piece with me, with bringing the performer, the creativity, the ideas, then they will call me all the time. And then for me, this is what I learn a lot because you are part of it. You don't have a choreographer who tells you how to move or where to move. You create together with the choreographer what we're talking about. Okay, which ideas? This and then.
It's the best way.
For me,
one of the best.
For some, not. For some, it's a nightmare. I have friends who work in a stage theater. A stage theater in repertoire companies. And depending on the choreographer it comes in. But most of them, they learn through sentences. And sometimes sentences you can learn by yourself because you create them. So also can be fun, this. But somehow I was more interested in creating scenes together more than movements. Let's say I was curious with movement. I'm still curious about movement, but especially more in the early years. In the last years, I like what happens in the performance, not so much in the movement. Actually, when I train a lot doing hip hop is when I was teaching in the beginning of my career, because to prepare my classes. Otherwise, I was never passionate enough to go to a studio, put music, and practice. I never did that.
You need to share.
It's a very interesting thing to say that because I think we all feel as students that we need to work,
of course,
every time, like every hour, every minute, every second of our life.
The question that I had about like how do you train alone?
Yeah, but I have the same feeling, and I asked the same thing to teachers like a few years ago. I asked someone the same because I don't. Then I work through doing. And I teach, I work through teaching. I perform, I work through performing. I make a piece, by making a piece, I collaborate in a piece. I'm a dancer for a piece. That's practicing.
And how you deal with the fact that you are always trying to do new things that you don't know how to do?
Well, it's not so real like this because at the end, all come from my knowledge. But I'm always really excited with something I never did before. This really is a drive for me in my career. It's like calling me to keep going. If I will not have this,
to grow up every time.
Yes, I'm afraid I will probably stop again to dance.
Yes, you don't have like a pressure, like I have to do it well, and
yes, I have a pressure.
Stress. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would like to say no.
We all would like to say no.
But I do. I want to make things that has something to resonance with how I understand life, world, and who is in front. I like to. I would love. Yes. Otherwise, I will not neither make my profession. So I have this pressure.
But maybe the good one that you need to keep going.
That keeps you.
Because I don't think I know somebody that doesn't have any pressure.
Exactly. Everyone. Exactly.
Yes, it's impossible.
It's P.A.R.T. and
nobody is really secure.
No,
but some people get paralyzed with the stress. Like can't do nothing.
That's the fear bit.
But
that we have.
I got too paralyzed. Like okay, maybe I broke my leg, but this was coming from the mind. It was I was running in the wall with CobosMika and Codarts running Holland, wherever CobosMika performance or production. At some point, why I'm running? I feel empty doing what I was doing. What? Really? But there's many people, maybe a lot of friends who like to dance in a company or may go to Codarts, and I feel empty. It's not my fault either.
It's like you had everything, but didn't.
Yeah, I don't even had everything. I had something that for a while I wanted.
Yes.
But maybe after 2 years, or 3 years, I was not connecting anymore. And I was keep on going until, yes, I get an injury. Coincidence, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe not. But that's how was the and yes, I'm always like, and also you said, I burned out 3 years ago, for example. I had, first time I got money in Spain, not much, let's say, but I got something and I need to cancel. And at the same time, I had a production in Israel, Tel Aviv, and another in Hanover, Germany.
Okay.
So I had 2 productions plus my little money to do something with the percussionists when I performed 2 weeks ago in Macandelas Plus. Back 3 years ago, I had a chance, but I quit everything, all the works, all the projects, even my own money. I give back to the state the money they give me. You can do this sometimes.
After you were injured.
No, I didn't injure. This was 3 years ago.
Okay.
My head, I couldn't deal with the pressure. I couldn't deal with
yes, too much.
And I like, because of course to make a production, we need to have a year calendar. And for me to plan a year, I don't know what. So of course I suffer with this pressure, and I have this pressure. And sometimes it's stronger than what I can keep. So this was 3 years ago. Also was not just a dance, it needs to do with life, with growing and keep being. I always felt like I'm like a ghost, here, everywhere and nowhere.
Yes, I understand.
But people who decide to be in one sitting, one company, one thing, after years they grow and become more concrete, and they can live from. And I choose I choose what I choose. It doesn't go in this direction, and I felt, wow, it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And I like to say that, I took, but it's beautiful. Now we meet again with the percussionists. We had the chance to perform in the main theater of Barcelona for them. So wow, first time in that theater with my own work, and so we reconnect again with the percussionist, and so this was beautiful too. So again,
can I ask you a deepest question?
Yes.
Are you happy?
No, a bit more defined, but just how do you manage to make the difference with your personal life and with dance? Or how do you define yourself? Like, is dance, like to be a dancer, is taking how much place in your personal life?
I see.
Because you said something really interesting the other day. Like you said, I love my families and friends. They are the most important thing in my life, but they are not my goal.
It's not my goal.
My priority.
It's not my motor.
Yes, motor.
It's not my motor. Yes, I love friends and I love family. I like. Yes, but it's not my motor. And what's the motor? I don't know. I cannot even put words. But I try to get close to this motor. Something that for me makes sense. To the way I grow, the way I connect to what crosses me, what is in front of me. This is my motor. It's and dance allows me to canalize that. But my motor is not to sweat in certain shapes some hours a day. No, I get bored. Then it's not my motor. But to reinvent myself, the profession as I live it, as I live, as I experience it, and I keep experiencing, it's exploring, rediscovering. You don't know, you think you know something, but once you know, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? And I like to find challenges that makes me to sense I'm growing. That's my motor. That's what I live for.
You have a beautiful curiosity, I think.
Yes, and I want to share it. But that's really it's not philosophy. It's not something to say to make beauty sentences. because when I was doing steps for money and sweating, I was getting lost. And then I had a chance then to meet Julyen Hamilton, David Zambrano, Andrew Morrish, many more people who are now probably around 70s. Deborah Hay, I met.
Yes, flamenco.
No, that's Deborah Hay. I met her like last November. She's 81, and she's one artist that.
Can you write her?
Yeah,
because you speak a lot about.
Really touched me a lot, and it's new. I always heard for many years, but I never
work with her.
Yes, exactly, and so I have the chance to see people who is 40 or 30 years older than me who still has this curiosity for life. So then it's like, okay, then I think they're fine, you know. But for me, that's what I mean. I live for my family. I like to get too close. I bring them to where I perform. I keep them in contact every day. Also my friends. But life for me, it's not to have a kid or to have a school or to have a company. No. Maybe about them all or none. I don't know. But for me, it's meeting, growing, experiencing. For many years, I said I like to be like Indiana Jones, but from the dance.
Yes.
Let's say I go for an adventure, I found something, and I go for the next one.
Yes.
And for me, this is the profession about.
You don't want any barriers. You avoid barriers like.
I don't
obstacles,
want. Yeah, I don't
obstacles.
want. I don't want. And if but they come. It's not that you don't want, but they come.
Yeah,
And then and then you find a way to.
You need to live, and you need to.
Yes, how you balance this, how you make this. Yes, and that's part of the journey, and that's what I live for as well.
Yes.
That's a bit what I think about. And again, I had chances to have amazing people around me who constantly, not just this. Mary Julia, they were teachers, but we became also reference, and then friends or colleagues. But also other people who I've been meeting in my path, dancers from all over the world. I work with Pepe Tiger. It's the oldest contemporary theater company in China.
Yes.
So, and they wrote me yesterday, and it's beautiful. We so.
They're calling you.
No. So that's what I mean. Like I love this when I work these experience in China. Just one was speaking English, or two. The rest they don't speak English, and it was so beautiful to talk to make a piece about Kafka. Kafka is the Western author, so Hungary German, no, and to talk about something that Kafka wrote through the eyes of a Chinese culture and talking about the Great Wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And okay.
Why does it happen?
Yeah. And I'm straight on the thing in the middle. It's like, of course. Who else? It feels me so much, you know. And then if you don't know what to search there, I don't know. I said it fits me. I need to find which way of they understand dance, and I realize that I don't need even translation because it's so close the way I understand, more close than many colleagues that work here. So and this is that's also, I know, is a romantic part of the profession, but this makes part of it. Why I live it like this? Maybe I will understand the same in the same way I understand here people with the same language. Maybe it will be the same. But the fact that I jump also into history in China because they are one of the main companies existing as a contemporary, not traditional. That's another story.
Okay, yeah.
So I've been in. I remember once we performed in a private studio of one of the main poets in China who has a mansion and 12 servants live in the mansion.
Wow.
And I was performing his bigger studio, bigger than the studio that you dance. It's like 5 times the studio that you have. It's one studio of him to make paintings, to make poems, to make.
Wow.
I was performing there in improvisation with a company because they were friends. You know, it's like if you will go to the house of Dali, for example, here, if Dali will be alive, you know what I mean? I mean, I never explained these things, and nobody knows them, and no one needs to know neither. But now that I have the chance to explain, it's like, how random is all these things? And for me, I live for this, the randomness, to rediscover myself constantly, refining what I vibrate for, and performing. I love to perform. I love to be able to learn and squeeze more and more about the art of being the stage and sharing something to say with a group of people, a group of artists. That's for me the profession. And for this, it's true, it's good to learn a lot of dance techniques and to train hours. Yes. I was in Codarts for a year and a half. And then before hip-hop, I was teaching my classes, learning how I can do it better. And after, I was trying to be constantly working. Because I know I will not have the patience to be in a studio. Because I will get... And I work, and also I did 2 solos, and this was the tough moments to be alone in the studio. Even I was already with having experiences in the world, and when I decided to make a solo, it was tough to be, and because I need to face the reality, I need to face my fears. What I want to say about what, why I want to make a solo, what's the purpose? When I like to be with people, that's a mechanism. I'm contradicting myself constantly. Can I live with it? And I live for that. That's part of the profession. One day I will say this, next day I will say that. And that's why maybe improvisation, or to compose instantly, that's what I like. What I'm doing in the last years the most, although I don't earn money from that really. But that's, I would say, my practice, even if I don't practice every day. But I look through my eyes, and that's a practice. I speak, I try. So I'm practicing in a way. It's constant in my mind. So in a way I'm practicing, even if I don't go every day to the studio alone. And when I had the chance to make a solo, it was, I need to confront all these questions. Yeah. Like, honestly, they gave me 15 days, 8 hours a day room for 15 days in a row.
Nice.
Yes. And they give me 500 euros budget for lights, for whatever I need, and I had a technician. Wow. This was a program for young choreographers to do something.
Yes, it's a good opportunity.
Yes, and I take it, and I end up, from the 8 hours a day, I was doing maybe moving 20 minutes, and after I sit and I watch videos or I look, efficiency was the worst. Maybe from the 8 hours, I don't know, as much I did 2 hours moving or finding things.
But sometimes it's while doing nothing that we have ideas.
Exactly. And
inspiration.
But exactly. Totally.
For me, it worked like that. Like, I need to get bored to create something.
Exactly. So, anyway, and it was a beautiful moment to realize, I didn't know what to do, because my point was to improvise. Because it was when I started to, I think it's improvise. I want to make instant composed work. But
I like the fact that you call improvisation composition, because it's true. Yeah. Like you redefined this word, and I never heard anybody before telling us about composition. It's always improvisation.
Yeah, but improvisation. What is improvisation?
But at the end, you are true, because
we are all improvise.
Yes.
When this doesn't work, you need to improvise to make it work. How, it's so not specific. I improvise. Yeah. Congratulations, everyone in the world. Otherwise, we will die. Imagine a world with not improv. If we will die.
We live in a constant improvisation.
Yeah, and then things, okay, I work from this hour, but at least when you improvise something, it's alive. So we all improvise. But when you call it, I compose, instantly, you start to define more.
Yes.
It's like, I love you. Define. I like the way you sit down. I like the way you look to things. I like the way you listen. I like what.
Of course.
So when you talk about composing instantly, you are defining. Yes, it's improvisation. But instantly, I make a composition. As a musician, a composer will compose a melody. No? Yeah. Then you write down, you give it to the musicians, okay, play this thing, the same thing, but it happens in the moment. And there's people who works like this, many people.
Okay.
Yeah. Many people.
And how did you get to teach like you teach to us? Because you seem also that in the class, like you saw the toy and everything, and you say, okay, let's play with that and let's compose a scene and we'll move it, and it will change everything. How you seem to improvise your classes.
Yes, and I came here and I asked how many students, what they do, where they come from, okay? And I ask also, they contract me to share my way of seeing, not to make a piece. And I said, okay. And then I come to share. So I had an idea. Again, like the day of my solo, what do I want to do? It's a chance for me to get naked there and see where I am with what I vibrate for, where I am really. And then I program. I practice. Okay, what do I want to talk? I want to talk about adapting. What means adapting? I want to talk about using the full potential of your capabilities, your smartness. The smartness not from your mind, from all the body, to read then time and space. I want to talk about how you can multitask on the same time. Yes, so several more topics, and okay, for all this, I've been teaching for years. So I take from everything I did. I did capoeira. I did so many things just for short times, but I incorporate all this. Lately doing out of Tai Chi, so I take already from the beginning on. But I don't do things to bring it to the dance. No, I do things with, like I do parkour sometimes, and I love it. Gym, like and I have a teacher, and it teaches adults, and it's nice. And so I take the things that talks to me, and I guess my curiosity that is to find a direction on that. Like once I went to astrologists and said, for my numerology, he said, you came here not to transmit the information, that's not your role, but to elevate yourself with what you get. And for me, a way of elevating means to bring it in another place. For that, I don't learn capoeira and I do capoeira or Tai Chi, no. I elevate it through me, through my vision, and that's what comes. I live for again. That's my way of understanding profession. It allows me to find a way to place myself into all what touch me, and it's my way. But not because I want to develop a training like flying low. Or, I don't know. I should do if I want to earn more. It would be a smart way to position myself. Maybe I do. I don't think so. We will see. But for me, I don't improvise the class. I improvise the classes, but I know what I want to. I know where I want to go with you, and I look at you every morning, every hour, every second. I look at you, and I see how the group does, and I see the curiosities. I see things that today was tough. Some of you were for a while like, where we're going, and I know that, and that's okay. But at the end, you were composing trios and making fast decisions and not being so much in the mood, like slow. And no. Yes. But we've been working for 6 days in many exercises that I learned from many things. Some I learned from physical education, from sports. Nothing to do with dance, but I bring it. I put the attention into what this needs to do with what I like, and then I share it. And by sharing it, I find out it's not idea I know before, because I've been teaching for years. This process happened already before, so I know this thing, how to talk. But today, I never did this thing you brought these, how you say, peluches, or these cartoons.
Yes.
And I saw, okay, and it was clear. We talk about the space, and then we start to compose the space with this. And then we start to understand that, when you put it this, it makes me laugh. But if you put it there, no. And then we start to talk about the space.
It was super cool because it made us see in a more concrete way the importance of the space, and the little changes can change everything.
Everything, exactly. And then
it was a good improvisation.
And then when more you compose like this, when you more practice, then you more aware are about this. How, especially when you compose instantly, how a small thing can change everything. And you never know, but you need to practice to read these things, because then you have more tools in your hands. If you practice 1 month a choreography of 1 hour with the choreographer, you repeat every day the same movements to try to squeeze as much you can the crisp of the idea. And when you do it instantly, it's the same, but you don't have a month to practice or a week. So by learning ourselves to understand this immediately and practice, then you get better in it. And it's not, it's true. And it's like everything. If you practice something, you get better. Sometimes you get stuck for a while, but after a while you keep growing, and that's the path, no? You stuck. Now I'm growing. Oh, again. In everything is like this. So you need to practice, otherwise not, So in a way, I improvise, but the ideas are clear. Especially the first 5 days, I give you so much exercise, plenty of exercise that more or less goes similar of all these topics I've been talking about: adapting, making decisions, changing decisions. You have the power in your hands constantly. Read. While you do, keep reading. Not just I do. No, do and read at the same time. Blah, blah, blah. So I keep insisting with many exercises.
But this is good because it has a big resonance, I think.
Yes, and somehow already this is there. And that's why we can move on now. As soon as I say something, you know what to relate. If I need to build up some sentence, some words, some universe that we know what we're talking about. And that's important because another teacher will come. If you don't, that's what you said, that you had this chance to have another teacher, and somehow you couldn't relate where this was. You understood where this came from, so I gave you 5 days of things that now I talk about something, you know where it comes from. You are not lost.
Yes.
Even today there was stuff, but things were just when I was saying, Lisa, make a choice, follow, guide, cut, connect. All these things that by this thing comes a universe of these things we are sharing. So that's why I'm not really improvising the classes.
Yeah.
I have an idea, but then I see how you come in, which state of energy.
You adapt. In fact.
So you see, I apply. But doesn't mean when you adapt, you come with all your background. You come with all your history. And you need to train to be ready there. You see? Yes. You adapt. Same thing I say to you, I do too. But I need chances. And this for me is a chance to be with you. To me, that's what I told you one day. For me, to come here, it's really vulnerable. I open my insecurity full on. I don't know. It sounds a bit, as a teacher, no, who I give a workshop, like you a bit like rabbits of trying, but this is it. You allow me. That's why I'm so thankful to all of you and to CobosMika to invite me here, because there is a chance where I can keep growing. And you're giving this chance. You're giving this chance to keep understanding where I am. Yes.
Oh, it's poetic.
Well, I don't know, but but life is poetry.
Yeah.
Life is poetry for all, and a song of a beach also sometimes. Sometimes it's a beach.
Yes.
What could you maybe advise to people like us?
First of all, if you make auditions as the part, the most official way, I don't know if it's the most official, one way to go. I was never good in auditions. I always end up until the end in most of them, but I never end up. What's happening? And all the jobs I had, and I'm pretty much keep working all my life, it was not from auditions. And I have a friend of mine, for example, in Belgium, who just takes by auditions. How do you make it? I never had a chance to work that they've been asked her. Never. Bad luck also. You always need to audition. What advice in this field? I will say what Julyen Hamilton is, someone who is my teacher or was my teacher and become colleague, friend, and I'm happy. I'm proud to. I can say I think we dance sometimes together, and I would love to dance more with him. He told me once, just follow what gives you light. Follow the light. And what this means, it will not have a logic probably. And that's one part, and then it's reality and numbers. Okay, you need money to pay the flat, the rent, you need money to do this, but you want to go to holidays. How you put this all in one pot plus a profession? This is like shaking and hopefully a six-com. You know, when you shake the days, and then I don't know if I can give advice, but what I know is that it's not fair to say, he was unlucky, didn't manage. You didn't manage that thing, and this makes you to make different choices. Okay, but that's life. That's not didn't make it. And some end up dancing with a company, and some they teach, and some they make their schools, and some.
It's a snake.
It's a snake, and yes, and you surf this. But I think that's not our dance. Life, I think I like to believe that I'm saying that, and I'm the first who shake my legs. So it's not. I'm saying that because I shake my legs. But what we live for then? If it's not what makes us sense, like each of us, we have a logic of living, and it's really and the logic changes. But we make changes every year to try to get close to this logic. Some they sell the car and buy a boat because this is some they have a flat and they buy 2 houses, and then after want a plane. Whatever choices you make, it's to try to get close of what you think it's the way you relate to this world. So if you follow this with your heart, is it poetic to say, with your will, with your strength, with your vulnerability, with your deepness, truth, with your honesty, I think then something comes from this. And that's what we'll advise to. And sometimes you will like something and it doesn't happen, and you insist it doesn't happen, you insist it doesn't happen, so maybe change. You know, we all need to change. And I want to dance for many companies, and I try an audition, and at the end they unpick me. I just keep dancing my things with others, and then I never had. And then jobs just keep constantly coming.
Yes.
And some periods not. And then okay, and then that period you think, okay, what I will do. But then again, something comes. And again, how open are you in your mind? Look, I had one friend of mine. She was with me in class, and she said, "I want to go to Batsheva." She said, we were in the first year together. In the second year, just 4 people out of 30 or 40 went to company. Me, CobosMika. One, Itedanza. Another company from Holland, Guy and Ronnie. And she, Zina Zinchenko, went to Itzik Galili. Itzik Galili is another Israeli choreographer who does pretty much similar work. After this, she ended up going to Batsheva, the ensemble, the Young.
The Young ensemble.
And after the Young, to the big ensemble.
She got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It passed, this was when she went there. It passed for like 7 years until she managed. But she said, I remember, first year, she said, what do you want to go to dance? I didn't even know what Batsheva was. Imagine. Batsheva? What is it? Sounds like I'm on ice cream. Or... yeah, I didn't know nothing when I came there. No, but I didn't know.
It's the beauty of it.
And then it's like, okay, and then she said it. And amazing, she had it. Some insist, has clear, managed. I never had so much clear things, so some insist having clear and there's a manage. So it's really, life is a tricker.
It's a trick.
Yeah, and funny enough, she doesn't dance now. She's a teacher of yoga, living in New York.
That's the craziest thing.
You see?
Crazy.
And then, yeah.
Different path.
Totally.
Take a different path.
Totally, take a different path. And that's. But you live for it. You live for this path. Okay, another way for me, what's life? It's path. I'm on my path. Still, because everyone is in your own path. But yeah, I want to be actively involved in my path. And with all these questions and being there. And I don't know, I question, do I will dance all my time? I don't know. Soon I will be a father and my first time. And how I can combine a family life with the life I have.
You will have to compose.
Yes, and I have no clue how even. So I'm shaking my legs too again, you know? Because, my life, I'm not been back in Sweden for 6 months. So, I don't know. I mean, yes, to confront not knowing. That, funny enough, because for many years I said, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what I know. I don't want. And then after a while, I got sad to say that, because it makes me feel that I'm myself. I'm a loser. I'm lost. I'm lost. I don't know. No, I know this. I do this technique. I do this thing. Then it seems that you know. And then last year I said, no. I know what I want to start to know what I know. What I know. And now I'm like, I think, no, I don't want to know what I know. But that's my choice. And I live from this, and I do like this. And this is part of my... You said, you improvise your classes. No, I have an idea, but I come there and I don't want to know what I know. I read, I see. And by reading and see allows me to reinvent myself in the moment.
Yes.
And that's for me, my life, what's about for. Can I live from that? Can I earn money from that? I don't know. I'm on my way of keep doing it. I know. Now I did for 20 years. Maybe I can go for 20 more, like some of my colleagues. They said they are 71, 81, or maybe... in 1 year, because the kid comes, something changing in me, and I don't have the need to. I don't know.
Never know.
You never know. I want to believe that I will be, because I think I love so much this discovery constantly. Yes.
Okay. And now that you tried a lot of things, dance, buto, parkour, and everything, do you still have things that you want to try, or you feel like, okay, I saw everything, it's over?
No, I would love to try things. My problem is that I never can practice nothing because I don't have regularity. So I would love to. Now I do what I try to practice sometimes is Tai Chi, Qigong, and also and parkour. But also I would love still to go deeper in theater. I work with company theater, but that's a way I can access. But sometimes I have dreams to become an actor.
Yes.
I think, because it's so close the way I understand dance.
It's not too late.
No, and I would love to also know. I think for years I have in mind, but I never managed to start to play guitar. I play a bit, but to make my own music, I always would love, but I know I will never make it. Because maybe one day, I don't know, but you need a lot of time, and I don't give time.
You don't want to put your time into this?
That's the point. Okay. I don't put my time into things.
Yes.
So I realize I need to accept this by looking up, not because I believe or I think. When I look my life, I end up putting time in being busy in my profession.
And you like it?
I guess, yes. For now, yes. But sometimes I'm pissed off. As I said 3 years ago, I thought like, no, how I can keep going like this doesn't make sense. And sometimes I hate also, like some periods of my life, I hate it also. So I guess if I keep going, it's because there's something that speaks to me. And maybe it's a mix of everything, but yeah, there's not time a day for all these things. But for example, last year I was going to singing classes back in Zurich.
Nice.
Once a week. A friend of mine is a singer, and I said, please, because I want to tune. It's so beautiful when you tune your voice. Hey, you go into a new thing. For what? I do this to make a piece. No. I'm not making things to think I will make a piece and I can sing in a piece. No way.
It will be part of you.
Exactly, but I'm tuning my voice, and then in improvisation, funny enough, comes more easy singing. Yes. But it's not I want to sing in the stage, but something to explore. Something like, for me, it's this. It's just things to explore and to see where it brings me.
And did you ever had your own projects, like your own company or?
Yes, projects.
Show.
Okay, for this I will say, I never think or ever thought, and still I don't think I'm a choreographer. The idea of someone who every year has a topic to talk and will spend some month or some period of the year alone, or with dancers, or musicians, or with artists to create something.
Not for you.
Not for me, but I always need to create things. It's just maybe the format. I don't need to do it this way, and that's why I do collaboration with different artists. And for me, these are my things. Besides this, I create 2 solos, 1 duet, and one piece for 8 construction men. Yeah, and I loved it. No, that's the works I do for my own. But this work for the construction men, this was I asked Manel, would you mind to make a piece for 9 people who never danced before, but they work in construction? I said, okay.
Yes.
So I had already a frame.
Yes.
So I really need to create a frame. And that what the most difficult is for me is to create frames, because I don't want to know what I know.
I would love to see the show. This show.
No, but you can see in internet, I think.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, I will send you the...
Nice.
Yes, if you put probably under construction in YouTube, I think there is a trailer, because the piece was half hour.
Yes.
But I think there's a trailer and can give ideas. Not so good trailer, but that's what it is. But what I want to say is this, that... I don't know. I don't see myself as a choreographer who will, but
maybe you don't like to be defined.
No, that's for sure not.
And that's your force, I think.
That's for sure not. But the truth is, if you want to ask for money, you need to be known as a choreographer. If you want to teach, you need to be known as a teacher. And I'm not interested in definitions.
That's the society.
Well, that's everything, but it's sometimes needed to be defined because it makes it easy. You need a plumber because your tap gets broken. What do you call? An answer? You will go to YouTube. I Google plumber in Palamos, and then who decide I'm a plumber? I have my website as a plumber. You will make bridges. When you define, it's easy to connect.
Doors and
yes, because you make you give body something. You give image. You give a body. When you define, you can be that you are like a ghost with no body. Body give you identity, no? And no body is, are you a spirit? Are you Virgin Maria? Are you a saint? Do you exist? A bit like this, yes? I make a bit drama, but it goes a bit like this. And
I never realized the no body.
Yeah, but all the things that has no body has no identity. You know, it's like somewhere the spirits, but not really. And yes, I go more into that, but not because I want. It's how I feel it, but it doesn't help me in the real life, you know. And 3 years ago, part of my breakdown was because I'm getting 40 on that time. No,
you were getting 40.
I was 38, but I was like, fuck it, you're only 40, still. I feel like a ghost. I'm not. How can I keep going?
What did I do?
Yes, and then but you keep going, and somehow I ended up doing a new solo last year, and I enjoy a lot. It went really good. I had a tour. They gave me a lot of I'm doing what I have to do then, and it's now I'm in a good cycle. At some point we'll finish, and then we'll be a bad cycle. You will question again. It's I don't know. It's the second, third time I'm in this situation, and then again. So now I'm enjoying that I can be here and being asked. Maybe in 3 months nobody asks me nothing. That's a reality. And then I'm still going to pay the flat on top. And then you question, how do I do that? So I don't know if I have an advice. Again, going back to your previous question, but I think that's a mystery of living and finding your way. That's how I approach it. I don't know how I like to think that it goes.
There was no special answer.
Yeah, but some people who I mentioned before, they are strong and they make their thing, and doesn't mean it's easy. It takes them a lot of effort to make their things, a lot. So, I think you need to go close to what your logic tells you to do in this life and the way you do. And as a choreographer, I don't know if I'm a choreographer. I don't know. Because this word, it's so old-fashioned. Before, choreographer is the one who make. I think nowadays I'm a choreographer. That's how a choreographer does nowadays. But it's true. I will not search for next year to get money, to pay 8 people to get a studio. Wow, that's a lot. I like more to come, maybe in small format. I had the chance to make a solo last year because my solo original cannot be performed because Corona rules. My solo is called Imaginarium Frame, and I frame the imaginary. But this could not be performed because people cannot be sitting with me in the space. And so in 2 days I need to create something new. And I create something new talking about Corona. And it's a solo where I talk 25 minutes, 20, half hour about Corona. But every time I say Corona or COVID-19, the audience raises the hand and send me quarantine, 10 seconds on the stage. So it's a game.
Nice.
So, and then I speak about the absurdities and how we are dealing. And so, and it was good. I enjoyed and it gave me a lot of strength. And so now I'm in a good phase. Not just because many things, but I'm connecting. Now,
Yes.
like today was a clear for me. Wow, you come with these toys for sleeping, and I end up arranging the class, starting all over the space with that. Boom. It's like, yeah, I'm right on where I have to be. That's a fast, sharp mind we all have, and serving the moment. And yes, right on. I'm right on. That's where I am. Then I'm a choreographer. I don't know, but I am what I am. This morning I am this. How you call this? Choreographer, teacher, dancer,
At the point, yes.
whatever you wanna call it. That's
Composer.
I know. Yeah, and, exactly. And there I know. Okay, I'm there with no doubt. With no doubt.
Wow.
Nice.
And it's beautiful. You are making interviews. I would love to do this. I never did it. When I was in Codarts back, I had many teachers who wanted to talk. I was like, okay, I don't know. There's many students. Well, why I will ask something? And I love it when you make this chance to listen to.
Because you talked with us a lot in the class, and I was thinking, wow.
I talk a lot.
He has, what a background. I mean, everyone should listen to that. You teach us a lot of concepts that we can apply to life. And
yes,
maybe it's
like.
Maybe it's a bit cheesy to say that, but it's really cool.
I know, for me also sounds like cheesy, but I think it is like that. You ask me, what life or profession, they go apart? This or that? Fish or meat? It's not all food? It's not all animals?
It's so true, but we have this question, I think.
No, I know, and I have it too.
Yeah,
but it's funny because we have two, and yeah, it's like, me, I'm doing like this live. I don't know other artists. Maybe other people does it differently. For me, I can differentiate the things because that's the logic for me. My logic goes like that. Because if I will divide them, then I will dance. I know I will get bored in short time. And I've been experiencing this before. That's why I know. I experienced to get bored. So. Again, the thing I think is what this astrologist told me once. I elevate. I need to elevate what comes to me. So I cannot just give me this, I share this. No. I give this, I drink it, I pee it, and then I share it. So there is a process in me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Something I bring it somewhere else. This, and then I share it.
You transform.
Yes, and then I share it. And that's for me. What life and profession makes
it's very
sense.
Generous.
Yeah, but that's how I think the profession needs to be, and also a performer. If you're not generous,
nothing happens.
No.
Yes, but it's not always like that. Especially in artist
fields.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and now you ask me, and of course. That's why the first day we met, I start to ask you one question because I want to know from you, because I'm being the same time as you. I'm being there, going to Codarts, a place with many people from all over the world, with all these curiosities, all these intranquilities, all these how to make it. I now from this position, how to make it, what exactly? But on that time, you're so into your thing. And so I think it's brave that you also find your way to canalize your curiosities and if I would be a choreographer, I would tell you, hey, let's keep in contact, maybe next project, but I'm not a choreographer, so I would love to give job to everyone.
We can still make projects.
Yes.
As also not choreographers.
Yes.
We can all gather as non-artists and do something.
No name.
Yes, no
For
bodies.
me, something I can, going back to feedback, or not feedback, so like something to share is like, it's good to have this time, these years where you practice many things, because you speak more languages, you are more ready for being in any situation, and more this and that and this technique and this thing. It's so good to have this, not for a purpose to apply it in a way, no, it's just to have it. You're just becoming smarter and smarter, and it helps you for a profession. And I hope that everyone can find its place. Sometimes it's difficult. None of us find always a place. Actually, myself, I felt out of place constantly. And I remember when I went to Codarts, it was painful to leave my friends from hip hop that we performed together with companies, because they were keep doing this, growing on that, getting more popular and serving themselves, and I was doing Codarts, but looking what I am, as if I'm losing one kid. So it's not easy. It's not easy. So not every time will be comes what you desire or what you see or what you, not at all. And it can take time. It's not a month. Sometimes it takes time. And then you need to learn how to deal with it. This is part of life also.
And maybe to finish, do you have like a work of art or a book or a movie or something that maybe you can share with us that, I don't know, change your point of view on something? Or...
Yeah, several ones. Like one book that I know it's a classic from literature, but Anne-Marie Rilke, Letters for a Young Poet.
Anne-Marie
Rilke.
Yes.
It's universal. I will write it. It's a universal book.
Okay.
Yes, and Herman Hesse.
Si.
Several movies also touched me a lot. Farewell, My Concubine. I remember it was really touched me. A book about theater, Invisible Actor. Invisible Actor.
It's the name of the movie?
The book.
It's a book.
It's a book.
Yes, but you already told us about...
Yes, that's a beautiful book from an actor from Japan.
Okay.
Who works also in Western theater. What else? Many of people I mentioned for me was
yes. Sometimes it can be just a street somewhere.
Yes, also.
If you're in the emotional state of receive.
Echo. That's the thing. That's exactly. It's many things that there's not a single thing who changed, but to meet Julyen Hamilton for me was very important. David Zambrano was very important. To meet, everyone, Anna, Sanchez at that time, to meet Paul and you, my friends, to meet my friend from Codarts. It's all these, I am because all these people cross me, literally, and my curiosity is in it. It's a mix of everything. Yes. But this book is good. And now I want to buy a book. I didn't read it, but from Deborah Hay. It's called My Body the Buddhist, I think.
Okay.
Or a Sky, a Dance, or The Dance, a Sky, something like this. That's because I just took a workshop with her and she mentioned it. I bought it in Amazon, never came back to my home. Deborah Hay.
Okay.
Deborah Hay. She has several books.
Okay.
And I'm interested about these ones also. I'm really...
That she wrote?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
And but for me, I'm not reading many books in my life.
Okay.
I'm not a reader.
You read people.
Yes. Full on. That's what I want to say.
That is beautiful to finish it. Wow.
Yes, that's how my big library. It's been people who I've been meeting because I follow this for a while. I share, I exchange. Yes, and that's why these names I've been saying all the time, and many more. See, I didn't have time. I mean, because I think now I would love to give each of them a place, because this is someone open up something in me. Oh, what is this? Okay, parkour or whatever now, or this guy, or what is this? Oh, what is this universe? What is this universe? What is this universe? This universe were in me, but something makes to open up. You know, because it's immediately. It's not something you've been cooking slowly. What is? It's like it's speaking to me straightforward. When I met CobosMika, what is this? Then after another thing, what is this? So it's, I read people. I read what comes to my life, because that's my big books are this. So it's, I cannot put, I can give some nice artworks that I think it's worth to watch them, to read them, to see them, to listen to them. Yes, I can give some. But I think the main thing for me, what this is the people who have been crossed, and the people and the experiences I've been crossing, the moments I've been crossing. This is what makes my curiosity or my became who I am. The afternoons in the library, of course. This is like watching, copying things. Not even time to see them, just copying them to have them. I have them now. One day I will watch them, and rarely I watch them.
But at least you have them.
Yes. I was also this concert I was going with a band, a hip hop band. I was going to improvise on the stage with them as a dancer. They pay me to go to improvise with them. That's how I earn a bit of money to pay my studies. So, it's crazy, and
yes. Well, thanks a lot
to you
for sharing so much stuff and to accept to come to eat my beautiful pesto pasta.
It was really good. The pesto pasta is a classic. I missed it. This was my thing for students. Now it's like, because I don't live in a house, you travel, but in a house, I love this. Pesto is always there. Then pasta pesto, done. Thank you so much for this. It's
Vale. Okay.